concept here is that every part of the network needs to be the best it can possibly be, but that's not enough. Orchestrating the combination of all of those is what's required in order to make the whole bigger than the sum of the parts. And that's what's happening in all kinds of activities today. It's what's happening in all of that process research and development that I talked about earlier. It's what's happening in the things that you're involved with the center here. So it really does require the additional skills in terms of working within those kinds of networks on the part of smaller suppliers, but also skills on the part of the larger OEMs and other organizations to orchestrate all of the things that they are depending upon from all of those smaller suppliers. So we also picked the terminology for a reason. It's not net-centric. That is to say, we don't mean just the internet. That's for data and information. What we're really talking about, we really do mean network, which is for people and organizations and companies. For example, one multi-billion-dollar company said that IT is a really big deal, no question, but it's only about 20% of the solution. 80% of it is the people, the relationships, the trust. So among the challenges in network-centric manufacturing is trust, for sure. Trust among and between people, among and between companies, with labor, government, education, associations, NGOs, and so forth. Now, how do we do that when it seems to be going the other way in Washington or in the UN or in the WTO and so forth? Well, let me just summarize why we need to do that. We can't wait for the politicians to do it. For example, in companies both large and small, if manufacturing doesn't trust the sales forecast and builds what it feels is necessary, you're going to have a lot of the wrong stuff in the wrong place at the wrong time. If engineering doesn't trust manufacturing to build it right, you're probably going to engineer a lot of cost in that doesn't really need to be done. If the supplier doesn't trust the OEM, then the OEM's not going to get the full benefit of all the things that the supplier can provide. And on the opposite side, if the OEM doesn't trust the suppliers, how can it possibly take full advantage of all of their capabilities? They can't possibly know what all of those companies can do. There's thousands, hundreds, if not thousands of suppliers. So what the challenges then are not just collaboration, but what we've come to term intense collaboration. It's more than just internet or IT based. It's got to flow from a real trust and a mutual commitment. And I'm quoting some of the things from the CEO of Lockheed Martin Aeronautics at last year's Defense Manufacturing Conference. It's required to optimize the entire network, not just optimize the OEM, nor even just optimize the OEM for the customer, nor even just the OEM and the suppliers, but also government, educators, and NGOs, and so forth.